Hey, what's going on, fellow Crown Vic fans? Today, I guess, is going to be a little longer of a video because there are a few things I want to get to on this video. First thing is Q&A that I always get with this car. For those of you new to a channel, this is my 2007 Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor that I got about a month ago from a small dealership about 30 minutes away from where I live. She's a good car, 4.6 liter V8 engine, just recently retired from the one of the sheriff's offices here in Florida, about an hour from where I live. So with that said, I'll get on to the Q&A that I always get with this car. Now, the first question I always get from people: what do police think of the car? And in fact, honestly, they don't have an issue with me driving it. After all, it's perfectly legal. Nothing is illegal about it. Not even the spotlight here in the state of Florida is illegal. Cops actually they actually like it. Quite the contrary. A couple times I've had some fellow officers just give me a thumbs up about the ride. However, with that said, there are some people that don't, I guess, appreciate civilians driving these cars, and that is security officers. Some of them do drive retired police units. They put them in their fleet, and I've had a couple of them be like, "Oh, you can't drive this car, it's illegal in the state of Florida." And of course it's not. Otherwise, I probably would have been pulled over already. Another question I get is the doors. The doors are still set up to where the person inside cannot get out. I mean, the handle moves, but the door is set up, of course, so that the prisoners or whoever's sitting back there cannot just get out of the car and walk out. So it is still set up that way. I don't really plan on changing it like that. I guess it gives more of an authentic police feature to it. Plus, it's no big deal for me. I could just always get up and open the door from the outside to let whoever sits back there help. Obviously, because it's now a retired police vehicle, it won't be some criminal that's sitting back there. Just a group of friends or a family member or whatnot. Question number 3 that I always get from people: what do you plan on doing to the car? It's a retired cop car. You have anything in mind? And I do, of course. I've mentioned a few things in previous videos, but again, for those that are new, got a paint job on the car. It cost me about $1,400 or so, and that was the half off price. Yes, I did go to Maaco. People say Maaco isn't exactly the best, but I'm quite impressed with how the paint job looks. And it's not the factory white either. It looks to be a much brighter white, which honestly looks a lot better on this car. That was one of the things I did. Another thing, of course, was I added the front thin blue line American flag plate there. That did not come with the car. I added that. I kept the plastic on there to just kind of give it extra protection. And one of the new things I added, I guess I'll go ahead and explain that, was the antenna. Now, this antenna here, it's only going to be a temporary one. I just did that to cover the holes right on top. I am going to get a better antenna, a much newer one that's not bent, because if you look at this angle, it's a bit bent. I don't quite like that, so I am going to get a antenna. And so we walk over here in the back, I did find me a Kevlar police trunk pack. Now, for those that don't know what it is, it's pretty much a trunk organizer. They had, the police would have their equipment here and here. Some of them, some places, they made like custom lids, so to divide the areas even more. For this would be important stuff A and this would be important stuff B, but I'm not gonna try to find any like lids for it. Got me a toolbox here for if I go into some junkyards and I see something that I want for the Crown Vic, just pull it over there and then see how much they charge. And of course, this is the spare tire, the jack. Now, I do also have a fire extinguisher that I'm going to put on the right here, but I haven't had a chance to install that just yet. And hopefully, by the time Saturday comes or so, I will get that new antenna, which it should be here by then, and a cage for the or partition. And yes, it's perfectly okay to have a partition in the car, so I plan on getting that as well. As for other things I've done, I got a put in some K&N filters that cost me, I believe one cost me about $50, but I don't quite remember what the others cost me. Got those in the car. Got clean slate on the oil changes and everything, because I don't know when the last time this car had one. I got new wiper blades because the previous ones were in really bad shape. These right here, I don't know how well you can see it through the camera, but these are Bosch wiper blades and they work good. And yes, the spotlight does work, and I don't plan on detaching it or disconnecting it. Of course, I won't be the idiot that uses it on the road though. So that's all the upgrades I've done and I will be doing. I might also do some engine upgrades too down the road, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And now the question I get from most people, how's it run? Well, I'm about to show you right now. And yes, she does run pretty well. She starts up well. Looks like as if the Sheriff's Department took care of it. I don't know how well you can see this through the camera. It's got a 144,593 miles. And if I press this button right here, that will show the, if I press it once, shows the, if I'm going on a trip, how many miles I've put onto the car. If I press it again, that's the idle hours, 5,083. Now that's a bit high, but of course, sheriff's departments, they take care of these cars real well, and I haven't had an issue, so nothing's been of a concern to me with this car, even though it's got those high idle hours and all those mileage. And of course, I forgot to do this in previous videos, but to show y'all the engine. And here's some of the interior. The partition will be going to the back here, of course. I do like the tan in this car. It kind of reminds me of my first car, which was a 2000 Chrysler LHS. It had a tan interior, but the exterior wasn't white, but rather a silver color. But this car, in a way, still kind of reminds me of that. And here we go, the engine. Like I said, it's a great car. These cars last forever. I know it's a little dirty, I'll get that all detailed as well. But everything's mechanically sound. I haven't had an issue with it. And hopefully down the road I won't have any issues with it. It's a great car. This is probably one of my favorite cars that I've ever driven. So I don't have any complaints whatsoever with this car. AM, FM radio. Unfortunately, there's no like CD or cassette player. However, it got me a little FM transmitter so that I can play my music through that on my phone. And it's got Bluetooth so I can talk to people hands-free as well. So that's something good to have. For those that do only have an AM FM radio on their Crown Vics, I think there are some that have like a cassette player, but I'm not 100% sure. I know there's some with the cruise control, but this car doesn't have that as well. So there's that with the car, how she sounds and everything. Like I said, it's a great car. And one last look of the trunk. Plan on getting me a few things to put in the trunk too, but that's on down the road. And that's everything with this car. Did a little Q&A. I might do another Q&A video down the road. That questions I always get with this car. That's pretty much the common questions I get. How police feel, how it is, what I plan to do with the car, and everything. So that's it with this video. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of the day, morning, afternoon, evening, night, whenever you watch this video.